see that girl, watch that scene, and find out if that scene syncs to Pink Floyd's 1973 magnum opus, The Dark Side of the Moon. Welcome to Sync Floyd. You are the dancing queen, young and sweet, only however old you are. My name is Gareth Blackler. My co-host is James Barron. Hello, James.
Hello, absolutely. It's me, James Barron. How are you?
Good. I feel like I was ending every sentence then with commas. Like I wasn't quite... It's because I didn't get to do the full rhythmic intro to usually do to a show, because I threw it off with a bit of Abba in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, good. I'm good. I'm feeling good. I technically got hit by a car today.
Whoa, what? Whoa.
Oh, the slowest car ever hit me. But it was like, the worst part, like, everything's fine.
Yeah.
Absolutely fine.
Great.
My bike is making a weird squealing noise.
Oh,
but
no.
That's an easy fix. I just have to go on YouTube. But the worst part is I realized in times of trouble, because I thought the guy kept going when he shouldn't have kept going.
Rude.
And in times of trouble, I go, whoa, which can only be really from hearing all the woes and Pink Floyd's Great Gig in the Sky.
I mean, that must be true. I did it just before now when you mentioned that you got hit by a car, so I think it's affecting us both. We're big whoa boys now.
Yeah.
Man, I'm glad you're okay and that your bike is partially okay. It sounds like maybe there's just like an axle out of alignment or something. Hopefully you don't.
Something like that,
Hopefully you don't have an axle out of alignment that we're unaware of. But
I feel it.
Okay.
To be honest. Simply because this was post-work, biking home on the squealing bike.
Yeah.
Rushing so I can get home and finish watching 2008's hit musical Mamma Mia.
Yeah. Squealing outwardly and internally about that. Fantastic.
James, we watched Mamma Mia. We watched it on mute while Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon played.
Sure did.
How do you feel about Abba?
Wow. Big question.
Right?
Abba are pretty cool, really, as a band. They've been, like, long-time running band. And with like some star-studded members, right, in their own right, like pretty crazy collaborators involved in Abba, like near supergroup level, and that they all went on to do like amazing stuff on their own, right? But like as far as their music is concerned, I basically only know the hits. Going into this movie, I knew very little about Abba other than like Dancing Queen, Mamma Mia. And that's basically it. Like, those were really the only tracks that I was very well versed in. As soon as I like heard a couple of the tracks, I've been like, oh yeah, I recognize this. I remember this song. But then there are some in here that are like, what? Who?
Yeah.
How? Like, I've never heard these in my life. So I'm not exactly what you call an ABBA stan, which sounds like a Middle Eastern country. But, you know. Yeah, like, they're good. They're good band. They're good band, and I should probably know more going in. I'm a little bit terrified of the ABBA fans coming out and murdering me for knowing not too much, but I'm being honest. Yeah. What about yourself?
Okay.
What are your thoughts on ABBA? History? Ancient history?
I'm sort of in the same boat, but, like, I did realize this week, like, no one is ever told of ABBA. Everyone is born with knowledge of ABBA, I find. Like, everyone will know, the 3 songs, at least, and probably more, and everyone will like them.
Yeah.
Yeah, ABBA are such a fascinating entity, because you can't really... It feels like they're not a band you have an opinion about. They're a band that everyone just agrees are great.
Yeah.
Like, they obviously, I think they had a rough time in the 80s and maybe some in the 90s, but I remember them being worshipped in the 90s as well. Like, they are beloved. They've even the like the re-canonizing of disco music. And like now everyone agrees that disco was this innovative, amazing 70s music.
It was actually pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with ABBA. Everyone already agreed ABBA were great.
Yeah.
Like,
they were like,
they're almost like Adele in a way.
Yeah,
like Adele, even if you don't like music, you'll like Adele.
You'll see the appeal.
Kind of the same for ABBA.
Yeah. You'll be like, damn, that girl can sing. It's the same kind of thing, right? You're like, even if you aren't like into the songs, you're like, whoo, man, talent, you know? Like that kind of level. And I would say like that's mostly attributed to songwriting with ABBA. I think they've got some like some absolutely like banger lyrics, and yeah, like their songs are really like memorable and good. The ones that the ones that hit really hit is what I'm trying to say. I guess in a similar manner to Pink Floyd, like everyone knows Dark Side of the Moon, like
exactly
whether you like it or not, and you and you may have a good or bad opinion on it, but everyone recognizes that album is like one of the best of all time, right? Like even if it's not really your cup of tea, so they have similar backgrounds, kind of going in musically, right? And that way,
and like in their now reputation, they're like canonizing. The two bands are very similar. Like you can imagine a couple where one of them loves Pink Floyd and one of them loves ABBA, and they don't get it about each other, but they respect it.
They love each other anyway.
Yeah, they take turns listening to the CDs in the car.
Yeah.
And it's every drive. It's just those two CDs.
Yeah.
ABBA Gold and Dark Side of the Moon.
ABBA Gold. This sounds like true to life, potentially, for you.
Yeah. Look, I'm describing my childhood.
Yeah.
But, like, everyone who has a childhood knows. Everyone who has a childhood.
Oh, wow.
If it happened in your childhood, you assume it happened to everyone's childhood.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you mean you didn't go down to, like, on holiday and get 50-cent mixtures? We all did that, right? Like...
Yeah.
Yeah. Surely. You all got ice creams with the flake in.
Yeah.
Come on. Anyway.
We all, like, had a grandmother named Loris.
Yeah.
Right?
Loris?
She's actually a grandmother.
Man, that's a wild name. I like it. Loris.
It's a good name. It's my real grandmother's name.
Wow, okay. Don't use that to hack into any of Gareth's, like, social media, please. Because it's a security question.
Yeah, good joke. Excuse me, I just have to...
I need to rename my grandmother real quick.
Yeah. It's the only way to change your password.
Yeah.
Is rename your grandmother.
It's real tough. Thankfully, there's a website for that. Should we...
NameMyGranny.com.
Oh, can we buy that and redirect it to Pink Floyd Pod? Potentially?
Well, look, listeners, go to it. If it's got nothing to do with us, we're sorry. And if it's great, then you're welcome.
Yeah, then name your granny after us, please.
Yeah.
That's a great legacy. My old Granny James. Oh no. Okay, we're off to a flying start, Gareth. Should we dive into Mamma Mia, the jukebox musical for the ages? This was like a stage show before it was a like a musical, obviously, before it was a film, right?
Yeah, for many, many years it was a stage show. It was sort of written, I mean, you can tell from watching it, it was written without the intention of the story being first. It was written to fit in as much ABBA as you could.
Very much a vehicle for the songs. It's kind of amazing that it sticks together as well as it does. Even though so many parts of this do feel very shoehorned in and feel like, why are we singing about this? Like, why are we celebrating this part of this relationship? Seems like a weird thing to be singing about, but that's fine. There is an ABBA song written about it, and that is usually the answer to that question. And yeah, it's at least a lot of fun. Like, that's what I'll say about Mamma Mia going in as a spoiler-free review. I didn't love it. It's not really my cup of tea. And I think the critics would agree. This isn't a very highly rated movie.
Yeah, well, what's interesting is on letterboxd.com, this is the movie that's over like the 10 years that website's been around, has had the biggest uptake in positive reviews.
Oh, wow. Maybe
now it's like quite high up on its average review. And again, it's just the power of ABBA is
just coming
you
through.
have to respect.
Yeah. Man, that's pretty impressive, actually. They're like, honestly, like coming back from being critically panned is like one of the more impressive things a piece of media can do.
For sure, yeah.
Like having that lasting appeal. So, yeah, we'll see if Cats 2019 gets there, but it's not looking good at the moment.
See, I was just thinking about that as I was setting up my like cupboard studio. I reckon it could come back pretty strong.
Really?
Mostly for being the big uniting media of the last big uniting media of the pre-COVID era.
That's fair, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the fact that that's like a sign of the times just before everything fell to shit is pretty hilarious. Like, yeah. I remember going to the cinema with 18 people to go and see Cats 2019, which is just something that is unfathomable to me now, you know? Like, crazy.
Yeah. Like, for probably a massive chunk of the world, Cats was the last movie they've seen in cinema.
Yeah.
And it's been 2 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild to think about. Like, that's the end of movies for you, and you've just had to hear fucking us talk about all the movies. This has been your replacement? Man. I'm sorry / you're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about Mamma Mia, friendo.
Oh, yes.
Opening title, Speak to Me, you know the drill, Universal Pictures, etc. We got, like, this movie starts like a fucking fantasy fable for no apparent reason. Middle of the night, midnight boat journey to an island with, like, a shrouded figure being, like, standing on a boat that seems to be propelled of its own accord. She's only holding the rudder of the boat. Presumably like an outboard motor, but like it doesn't look like that. There's no like wake behind this boat. It's just magically being propelled forward, which is great to see. And heading up to a Grecian island and a like outstand, like everything else in the scene is blue hued, and there's this yellow post box in the center. It's like we're in a like perfume ad or something. Yeah. It's very weird.
So scary.
Yeah.
Scary perfume.
Yeah, scary perfume. If you smell the fear is the and she's sending off these 3 important letters to her dads. Unnamed characters. Well, they're actually named now. Sam Carmichael, Bill Anderson, and Harry Bright are the trio of names that the recipients of the letters. And then we cut to them like doing their thing and heading to the wedding that they've just been invited to. I do like the like difference in the framing of all of these scenes. They all have sort of distinct vibes going on. Especially Bill's scenes, who looks like is in he's walked out of like an adventure movie. It's great. It's like he's Indiana Jones abandoning set, which I thoroughly enjoy. And they're all heading off to destinations unknown. No real major syncs here for the intro. We're just getting like Speak to Me, as you know, Into Breathe, just sort of serene vibes. And then we get the title card for Mamma Mia appearing like through stars in typeface. Pretty lovely. And breathe. Over like the open ocean, I'm pretty sure, as well.
Yeah. The way Dune 84 ended, Mamma Mia began.
There you go. What a perfect lead-in for our podcast, you know? If you're watching all of these movies sequentially because you've been cursed, like, that's at least got to be nice.
It's nice when there's good things in your curse.
That is always nice. That's something that this podcast has taught me.
Yes. Oh gosh, yes.
Yes. The serene scene is immediately interrupted by the screeching of woo girls, Gareth, because Sophie is reuniting with her friends and bridesmaids. Their character names are Ellie and Lisa, but they aren't at all important. They just sort of hang around and be audience surrogate and hear all the stuff that's going on, and then basically backup singers for the rest of the movie, but that's okay. Yeah. They come in and do this, like, prepared dance sequence that they have, like a friend group dance move, where they have, like, a rhyme that they sing and clap hands and stuff, and they all pose. It's very, like, Team Rockety. I don't know if every group of ladies in this world has their own. Like, maybe this is just a thing that friends do. Maybe we need to come up with our own, Gareth, our own little, like, rhyme sequence about our weird podcast that we have.
Yeah. He's James.
He's Gareth. That's
his games.
Oh, there's nothing that rhymes with Gareth. That's not fair.
No. Okay.
We'll workshop it. It's fine. It needs work. They're clearly well rehearsed, these girls, you know.
Yeah, these girls did not come up with this on the spot.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah. they've come here for Sophie's wedding. We're on Kalokeri Island, which is a made-up Greek island. Kalokeri literally translating to summer. So, Summer Island. So that's fun.
Why not?
Yeah. And yeah, they are getting filled in on the hot goss. She's got a secret that only she can tell them, and it's because that she's invited her 3 potential fathers to attend this wedding. Basically, she never was told about her father growing up, kept very secretive by her mum, Donna, and she sent off these letters to these guys because she found out the information by stealing her mum's diary and then reading it aloud to these girls, being like, talking about past relationships that she had with these 3 guys. And we do launch into the first song here, where we're getting on the run, I believe, which is adding heightened tension to the diary reading. But yeah, not much else. The song is Honey Honey. One of my least favorite ABBA songs, I've got to say.
Okay.
Not a fan of this one, especially as an opener for the movie. Didn't fill me with confidence. I think the singing's okay. Like, it's like well performed. I just don't think it's that great a song.
I was wondering if it was my TV or Amazon Prime or the combination of the two, or if this movie's done this on purpose. But my goodness, you could barely hear Amanda or Sophie's vocals.
Oh, really?
And, like, you could really hear the backing track. And, like, I knew going in that the singing wasn't very well rated in this movie and that everyone was, like, actors over singers. So I was genuinely, like, worried that they're, like, over time they've done a little course correction and just upped the backing for everything.
They've just muted all the singing very much because it's, like, not that great. And they're like, ooh, actually, this movie's got to live or die by the dialogue now.
Everyone who's watching this, you know, in 2021 probably knows the songs well enough that they'll just be singing themselves anyway.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
true.
The karaoke version.
Oh, yeah. This is very much like a mum singing in the aisles kind of song. And, or, like, movie, really, actually.
Yeah. Do you remember that dance I talked about on our Labyrinth episode that I accidentally embarrassed a bunch of people in their 50s by pointing out that they all do it, where you just kind of wiggle your hips and keep your arms bent and move them side to side?
Yes. I know this exact move, yeah.
Like, pointing it out, huge shame in my life.
Yeah.
As we talked about. Like,
brutal.
I never want to shame someone out of dancing.
No.
But here's a whole movie about that, like, based on that dance move.
Basically, yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah.
There's an even wilder dance move that I'm going to get to later in this discussion.
Oh, my goodness.
Which is, like, I just can't wait to talk about, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
So... also the context, I just want to talk about the context of this song in relation to what's happening in the scene. Effectively, like, it's kind of weird that Sophie is singing about, like, from the perspective of her mother, like, having these past loves and relationships. And she's just, like, gleefully singing as if she's, like, playing the part of her mum. It's really weird feeling to me. Like, very sexual kind of lyrics going on. And it's just like, okay, I don't know if you should be singing about your mum this way, but that's fine. Maybe your relationship's like that. Yeah, pretty bizarre.
Maybe, like, I mean, again, full credit, like, it must have been a marathon task to try to write Mamma Mia and all these songs. But like, if they'd started maybe a flashback and it's like young Meryl singing this song,
that would have worked.
Explaining it that way,
I'd been on board with that. Definitely.
Yeah, and it would have given us more of what you see later, which is these actors in 60s wigs, which I'm very into.
Yeah. It would, it actually would work much better if it were a flashback and there's like, we're getting the narration as if it's a from the diary's perspective. Like, that would work really well. But no, we don't get that. Budget's not there for that, unfortunately. We get a little bit of important information here about Sam Carmichael left Donna saying that he was engaged, so he had to go get married. And then from there, she went on to have relationships with Bill and then Harry sequentially, all within like the same month. Like, and that's why they all could be the potential father. There you go. Bit of a bizarre situation, but fair play.
Yeah, I mean, good on them and like quite sex positive that they, pointed this out. Like, the reason it's a bit hard to know is because, a young Colin Firth and Stellan Skarsgård came to your island. What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do, really? Like, it's Greece, baby. Like, you're living on Aphrodite's blessed island of love. Like. It's sort of out of your hands.
Yeah, that's canonical to the film.
Yeah.
That's in the text.
Not a joke.
Like, we're not doing our, like, turning it into arcane fantasy this time.
No, that's all real. Anyway, yes, into Meryl Streep as Donna, the mum, who I think does a pretty good job. I think she's the star of the show for sure. And, has a pretty good voice as well. Pretty impressed by her singing throughout. She's got a lot of numbers as well, so you'd expect them to cast someone that can sing.
Dot.
Yeah. Ominous pause. We get the crash sound and On the Run as the boys are coming in, trying to catch like a ferry over to Carry Island or whatever it's called. There's a great, like, their taxis are like perfectly in sync with one another as they're driving up the dock. I thought that the shot here is very like Fast and Furious. It's pretty fun. But yeah, they
my note says England's finest dads skid into the crash.
Very good. Very good. And then over the pause, young Billy Boy is in his boat and offers them a ride over to the island because he owns a boat. That's his vibe. He's a like adventure dad.
Have we talked about who's playing these dads?
Not yet. Let's do it.
All right. Yeah, because my goodness.
Center stage, we have Pierce Brosnan as Sam Carmichael, tall British Bond dad.
Just being Pierce, really.
Yeah.
He didn't really know anything about the movie when he signed on. He was just wanted to be in a movie with Meryl Streep. So respect.
I mean, yeah, fair enough. Like they do have good chemistry together. I'll grant them that.
Well, apparently Pierce was in an acting class with Meryl when they were much younger, and like kind of implied he had a crush on her then. So he's just like pulling it all from real life.
Wow. Okay, that's kind of cool. I like that background knowledge. It's a good wee fact. We got Colin Firth as Harry Headbanger, last name that I don't actually know. Who used to be like a rocker guy in his past, but is now a very straight-laced British gentleman who lives alone with 2 dogs. That's his whole vibe. He's playing Colin Firth in the movie. Basically. But that's fine.
I thought you misspoke, but no, he's
playing himself.
It's a Colin Firth role.
Yeah, it's the same character he is in everything, but that's okay. People like that.
And this is his like one of his favorite movies he's been in. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it did look like a lot of fun to film, so I'll grant him that. Like, he probably made a mint off it as well, so...
Yeah.
Wild.
I don't know if it seemed that fun being his character. You just kind of are the awkward one. You just Colin Firthing around.
Yeah. But, he's good at that. So, I don't know.
No one Colin Firth's like Colin Firth.
That is true.
He's the first one to do it.
Yeah. Wow. Oof. That one hurt. And then we have Stellan Skarsgård, the Baron himself.
Baron himself.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Nice. Here as playing the adventure dad. Got little tattoos of Egyptian eyes on his knees. And his ass cheeks, I believe, later on. Which is like, man, that's a lot of eyes, dude. Like, fair play.
What do you need to look at?
It's got a quality brand, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's your cool adventure dad. An author and world traveler. So yeah, they've all got stuff going on. He's also Swedish, which is like the Abba connection, I believe.
Yeah, although in the original play, his character was Australian.
Interesting.
Which, yeah, is just them missing the chance to have an Abba connection, really.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. But yeah, decent casting, I think, all round there. I think all the dads have a good vibe.
Yeah, all good at acting.
All definitely good at acting. Yes. Anyway. So they're all coming in and they get on their boat. And the ferry, we cut to the ferry that they just missed, and aboard that are Donna's friends and compatriots of the past, Tanya and Rosie, who are like sort of a mirror of the bride-to-be and her friends in a way. And yeah, Tanya is like an ab-fab, rich divorcee type character. And Rosie is a lone wolf, self-described, and like writer kind of goofball kind of character. And they are played by Christine Baranski and Julie Walters, respectively.
Yeah, show some respect.
Yeah, show some goddamn respect to these actors. I think they do a really good job, these two. Both of them can like sing pretty well, and like, yeah, they just have a lot of fun in this movie. Just like, they get to do a lot of fun prop work, which I always enjoy. I don't know. It felt very stage showy. It reminded me, like, basically all the scenes they were in reminded me of like Grease quite a lot. You know?
Oh yeah,
yeah. But yeah, they're cool characters. I like that they're like very different to one another as well. They have their own kind of thing going on, whereas Ellie and Lisa have literally nothing. But that's fine. Yeah. Tanya gets spooked by a like hideous looking monkfish in a basket here. It's very spooky. A true jump scare in Mamma Mia.
When this first showed up, I did nudge friend of the show Maddie and go, "That's me."
Oh no!
And this beautiful musical of beautiful people singing, you know, some of the most beautiful music ever written. I was like, that ugly fish, I get what he's up to.
I'm that little basket fish. Wow, fair enough.
Could that be part of our friendship, Ryan?
I'm that little basket fish. I feel like we could fit that in. Okay,
that's line one. We're going to have the whole rhyme written by the end of the show.
Oh God! Oh no! Okay, sounds great.
And then I'll make namemygranny.com redirect to our little rhyme written down.
A little song. Okay, a little verse. Yeah. Sounds great. Does
it?
Yeah, I'm excited for that. I can't wait for you to like buy a web URL. I think that'll be really funny.
Yeah, it's not cheap. I wish we'd see namemygranny.live. That's cheap.
Hey, if they're alive, we can use that one. You know, that's fine. We only rename live grannies. It would be disrespectful to do it to the dead.
Yeah, that's true.
Although, rename my granny.dead. Anyway. Yeah, so the girls, the young girls, are getting changed into their dresses when we meet the groom-to-be, Sky, who is coming in here. Who is he played by? Dominic Cooper, someone I've never heard of before.
I think he plays the young Howard Stark.
Oh, really?
The Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Howard Stark?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know, the first line in LCD Sound System's All My Friends.
All right.
That's Howard Stark.
Okay, man. All right. Yeah, I did not
I've been
know
sitting
that.
on that joke in my head for since we did Iron Man 3. I forgot to say it then. It's been stuck here.
Deployed like Iron Man's little drone bot that he sends out. Man, great. Yeah, I hate Sky. Sorry.
Yeah.
He sucks. And like his character sucks, and also like his vibe sucks. Yeah, I don't like what this guy's all about. Later on his wedding day, I'm going to call him out so badly for his outfit, because he's like just wearing like a Hawaiian shirt under like a white tuxedo, and it looks like awful. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what this guy's deal is, and I don't know what Sophie sees in it. So,
yeah.
Anyway.
There's a lot. We'll get to his scenes, but he seems to find new ways to be awful quite a lot.
No love for the boy. Sorry about it. Anyway, he doesn't want this big ceremony or whatever. He like lays that on pretty clear here at the top of the movie. Wanted to like save money and travel the world, but she's like, but I will do this for you, girl. Like, I know it's what you wanted. Like, isn't that great? And then, it's like, oh, gee, okay, weird. Anyway, yeah. In his defense, though, it is a very, like, extravagant Greek island wedding. So, that can't be cheap. Even though it's like your mum's owns the place and seemingly has endless help. But whatever.
Yeah. And you're already there. Like, you're not paying for anyone else's flights, and they all get to just stay at the place for free.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just building tension that this, like, big to-do isn't really on his, like, top priority list about this marriage, It's not in his best interests. But anyway, he's going to go off to prepare for this upcoming bachelor party that's happening later tonight. And, also, we let in on the knowledge that Sophie hasn't even told him. The only people about the whole dad thing, she's only told Ellie and Lisa, who I can't remember. I can't believe I still remember their names, actually. But anyway, she's confident that she's going to recognize her dad on sight as soon as he arrives. She'll be like, oh, yeah, that's my dad. We have the same nose or whatever, But, we'll see how that goes. We get a brief shot as we go into Time's solo of the dads coming in on the boat. And then they're like a bit behind the ferry because that has arrived, and Donna comes down in her like little Jeep to collect her friends at the dock, and they do a very similar ritual. Except theirs is much more justified because these guys were, turns out, in an actual band together. They were like a singing trio, Donna and the Dynamos, and that is part of their like intro thing that they do. So yeah, maybe it's just like a holdover from that. Maybe like the other friend group also was copying Donna and the Dynamos and their like dance move that they do. You know?
That's sweet. I like that.
We'll say that's canon. But yeah, it is a lot more like random screaming. There's so much bloody screaming in this movie that I really didn't appreciate. Not a big fan.
And on the Pink Floyd album.
Yeah, I get like when people see each other for the first time in a long time that they scream out, but man, if that isn't one of my pet peeves. Whenever I'm hanging out, like waiting for a flight at an airport, and people are like, "Ah!" as soon as someone comes off the plane, fucking hate that. Sorry, not big on public displays of affection.
I'm imagining in this scenario, you're not even at the airport to take a flight. You just went there to go eat at the Subway. You're just furious.
Oh man, that sucks so much. I'm so much more of a curmudgeon if I don't even need to fly. Jesus, that's so much worse. Oh, I've fully turned into that basket fish after, just full grump mode. Oh god. Anyway, they catch up and drive up the coastline, and Rosie talks about how she doesn't want a husband because she's a lone wolf, etc. And the other one is like a serial marrier. She's had 3 ex-husbands and is looking for number 4. So pretty cool that they're quite different but still friends. And Donna lets on that she is apprehensive about Sophie leaving the island and leaving her all alone. when she gets married, because she's only like 20 years old, which is pretty young to get married.
Yeah.
And probably not in her generation was that too young, but like nowadays it's younger. I feel like people are getting married later and later as people get older. I don't know. It seems that way.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of evidence of that.
Yeah.
Which I do. When is this film set? Like,
oh my God, I have no idea. It's got to be like. So if they were like big in the same time as ABBA, if Donna and the Dynamos were like popular around the same era, it's got to be like late 90s, early 2000s, right? Like I'm calling like 98-ish, 97, 98. That's where I put this movie.
Okay.
Because also like a website is a thing that like is not really known about as well. So I don't know. Maybe that is factoring into my math here.
Yeah.
But that's my estimate.
I mean, it could be that Donna and the Dynamos were big concurrently with ABBA.
Yeah.
Which I do have a second question about that.
Yeah.
Like, and then there was a bit of time in between when, like, they kind of called off the band and then she got pregnant. Because on IMDb, oh my goodness, the Internet Movie Database, which I know I swore I would never go back to.
Oh, no.
Calculated that Meryl Streep's character, following Meryl Streep's real age, she would have been 35 when she had the 20-year-old Sophie.
Okay.
So, like, she could have been a pop star, moved to an island, had a baby.
Sure.
Where it gets a little iffy is, like, then it shouldn't have been too big a deal that, like, her parents wouldn't have made a big deal about it, which they definitely canonically did.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I feel like she must have knocked up fairly young, and that's why her parents were like, don't come back, move to the Grecian island of Aphrodite and never come back. You know, because that's just what parents do. It's
just parent stuff.
Very difficult to place, but maybe we're reading too much into the movie Mamma Mia. That could well be true as well.
No.
I don't know.
Which does bring me to my second question.
Okay.
Does ABBA exist in this universe?
Hell no. ABBA is the lifeblood that is woven into the ley lines of the realm, Gareth. In a musical, I feel like the band itself doesn't exist, and like the way that people talk to each other is like the language of that band's music, and that's why everyone bursts into song. You know, it would be insane to me if like a band appeared and performed a song from their repertoire in a musical featuring only their music. That would freak me out beyond belief.
Yeah. Okay.
So yes, I would say that ABBA doesn't exist, but their influence is everywhere. This is the like ABBA-verse, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it spun off our universe when a time traveler dropped ABBA Gold on CD into the primordial ooze that all life came from. So plants are grown from ABBA. People just instinctively know ABBA.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ABBA-verse.
Even that basket fish, he's got a little bit of ABBA in him. Little does he know. Shout out to you.
I'm that little basket fish.
Little does he know?
Little does he know. Yep, that's the next line. Switching tense. It's great.
Great. Okay.
Let's hope we get a rhyme on the next line.
Yeah, I know is easier to rhyme with than fish, probably. Anyway. Yes. So they're going up there, worried about the marriage, etc. And yeah, the dads are getting to know each other on the boat, even though like they don't really know how they're related in any way. They're all just going to the same place. And Harry recognizes that Bill is like an adventure writer and likes his books. So that's cool. Not really that interesting. We also learned that Harry isn't a very spontaneous person. He's sort of a meek, like Colin Firth type. You know. Yeah, we go into Great Gig in the Sky, and the ladies have climbed all their way up the mountainous path to get to the villa that Donna runs, which is just called Donna Villa, I'm pretty sure. Which is
why not?
a pretty funny name for a place. You're staying at the Donna Villa. Yeah, it's good. lots of more hugging and reuniting. I'm desperately avoiding eye contact with everyone at the airport. Sky is designing a website for Donna. I mentioned that earlier. She's like logging up to the worldwide world, you know? Yeah,
just slowly typing in HTTP.
Yeah, exactly. It just calls into question, like, she runs this villa as like a business, right? It's a tourist attraction, this island, but no one fucking knows about it. No one knows, A, that the island exists, and B, that there's a hotel on it that you can stay. So I don't know how she's making any money ever. Is it just like people of the like surrounding islands that are coming to stay there? Like, I don't know. It seems like a really bad business model, but sure. Yeah. It's the Mamma Mia verse.
How much is she charging per room? Maybe it's like $1 million.
To stay in the goat house, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? This is also where we get our Aphrodite Fountain Law, which I was thrilled about. Just the like great, yes, there's a legend that Aphrodite's waters are within the mountain and they will spring forth and everyone will fall in love. Just classic weird lore in the middle of your musical. Yeah. I want to know, I want the deep Grecian background. I hope Mamma Mia 2 is just set in ancient Greece. Please.
That's good. That sounds better than what they did do.
Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, right? That's the sequel.
Yeah.
Apparently it's way better than this movie, which is like hard to believe that a sequel to a musical could be better, but fair enough.
Especially because this one obviously burned all the hits, and Here We Go Again has to use like songs like One of Us and other deep cut Abba songs. I think it manages to get Fernando in there.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, I think. Don't quote me on that.
That is missing.
Yeah, I've heard it's way better as well.
Noticeably absent in this track listing, I will say, is Fernando, yeah.
Yeah, well, they just couldn't figure out how to make a song about war fit in.
Fair.
Which is interesting. Yeah, considering they fit everything else.
Whereas Mamma Mia 2 is just all about war.
Yeah, the war of the gods.
Hell yeah. Sounds great.
I will say, so Mamma Mia is a film that, huge parts of it take place on the day of the lead character's wedding, daughter's wedding.
Yeah, well, we're day before right now, but yeah.
Yeah, sorry. But a big part of it, a big plot point is the day of my daughter's wedding. Yeah. And then the sequel is a half prequel about the main character and then how their child's going in the future. And I got to say, name me any other film franchise that dared to do that. You can't.
It's impossible. I can't think of any. No. Yeah.
Especially one with a paternal name in its, paternal word in its title. No way.
Yeah, it's just impossible.
Yeah.
I can't, You've made that offer and I can't refuse it, but I can't think of a good answer, Gareth, basically.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway, so Sophie finds a horse in her bed.
Oh no! Then she's going to take revenge. No, instead we have an extended conversation about using a toilet here on a Grecian island, which is completely unnecessary. It's like just played for laughs. I don't get it. Anyway, but then we launch into money, 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 because Donna's talking about how the hotel itself, or the Donna Villa, is falling apart. And it does put into pretty sharp perspective the relationship that the main characters have with the rest of the background singers here, who are just random people also living on the island, who have all been conscripted into helping out at this wedding. Everyone else in the background of this movie is doing so much fucking work, and no one else does anything, and it drives me insane. They should all be working on stuff, and they aren't. It really annoys me. Everyone's instead doing these bloody dance numbers, Gareth. They all should be working hard. The wedding's tomorrow. No one's prepared. Oh my God. I was getting anxious.
You're at the Donna Villa subway just screaming at them.
Yeah. You got a wedding to go to. Stop screaming. But it's actually a police officer screaming at me to stop screaming. It's the real truth.
Ooh.
Yeah.
These background characters are my favorite part of the film because they're clearly like, it's got to be intentional that they're like the Greek gods messing with these characters.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's like made explicit in the credits that they're all they're like omnipotent and watching on and also like guiding the hands of the people in the movie, right? Yeah, often like pushing characters where they need to go and things like that. Sometimes literally, but yeah, I think that's a pretty great read, honestly.
It's my favorite part of it. Like, even to the point where like Meryl says the fates, and then turns and looks at them all, and they all kind of like look away. Like,
so I was so confused by that, but that really explains that joke, because that is such a non sequitur joke. What the hell is going on there? If you haven't seen the whole film, that joke makes zero sense. Like, that's for people who have stuck to the end credits and then immediately put on Mamma Mia again. So me. Like, that's it. No one else got that joke at all. It's so wild. Anyway.
Love it.
Yeah. But yes, Money, 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 another Abba hit.
Again, sorry, like, why is this the second song, the second musical number, which is historically meant to be, like, I'm not a musical expert, but as far as I know, it's first song, introduce the world, second song is the characters I want song. It's their great desire, it's why they want to break out of the world we've just established.
Money.
You know, just set them off on their hero's journey. And hers is just immediately set as money.
Yeah. That's her driving force, apparently. Yeah, it's not good movie writing for sure, but that's fine. Or musical writing. But yeah, she's like, I don't know. It's the song transitions also into her like wishing to get all this money and also like marry a rich person, go on their boat and have like a whole time. Live a life of luxury with a flowy dress and everything, which is also counter to what her actual character motivations are. Like later on, like immediately after this song, she gets offered a loan by her friend and refuses. So whereas like if you were paying attention to the lyrics of the song, it's like the only thing that matters. So surely she would snap that up, but whatever. And then two, like, she doesn't she actively doesn't want to get married. And like, so maybe she's just saying like, I don't want to get married unless the guy's mega rich. Like, is that what you're trying to say? It's not a good thing to try and say. I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work as a second song, and it also doesn't work for the character. But that's fine.
You know what it most offensively doesn't work for? Is Pink Floyd have a song called Money.
Yeah.
Abba have a song called Money, Money, Money.
They do.
One thing that would have pushed them straight into the upper 7 to 10 region.
Oh, yeah.
Would have been if these two songs played at the same time when you sync the album. It does not. It's Great Gig in the Sky, and then we get a minute. Yeah. No, nay, 35 seconds of Money.
A glorious 35 seconds it is. When those cross over. But we are in the tail end of Money, 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 which is them just saying money, 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 it's a rich man's world over and over again. And yeah, it's like we already got it by then. You missed the boat. You know, it's two ships passing in the night. So close, but it's just like way off, you know? So frustrating.
Even if it had been like one money stops and the other money starts, that would have been amazing.
Right?
In its own way. But no, it's just... Yeah.
They do cross over briefly, and that's almost worse. So, there you go. At the end of the song, there's a mosaic in the courtyard of a little dolphin, which cracks ominously. At the end of the song through earthquake or divine intervention, we don't know, but does. So keep a watch on that dolphin and its secret. Yes. The lads arrive, the lads, they come on in and Sophie spots them and ushers them into the goat house for them to stay in, which is like a ramshackle like hut kind of 2-story like barn situation. Looks kind of okay. It's full of like trinkets and random crap, but like, you know, got some earbeds in there for them to stay in. Unfortunately, Sophie doesn't immediately recognize her dad like she thought she would, and sort of panics in that moment and then hides them. And she also reveals that to the guys that Donna doesn't know that they're here and that she sent the letters to invite them. And they're like, oh, fuck. Like, especially Sam, who was told never to come back ever again, basically.
Yeah.
So he's not thrilled. He got a letter out of the blue and was like, "Oh, okay, I'll take a chance." But he didn't. He's now living a bad time up here in the goat house. So she convinces them to stay put and hide until the wedding tomorrow. But as she leaves, Donna comes in and like spots them, like comes in and sees them through, like peeks through the little little trap door.
Yeah.
And spots them all. And I do like that they all transform into their like younger selves. It's quite funny seeing like rock Colin Firth and hippie Stellan Skarsgård and like even more hippie Pierce Brosnan, who's never like dressed like, he looks like a dad in costume. Like he looks so unrealistic as a hippie, it's untrue.
Yeah, long hair, headband, big moustache. He's been to the cheapest costume shop. Yeah,
Stellan Skarsgård I buy, but the other two I'm like, nope, you never look like that. Not a chance. But that's fine. And yes, we go from here. We're at the tail end of Money, and then going into Us and Them for Mamma Mia, the title track. Because boy howdy, seeing those boys, that's a Mamma Mia, Gareth. Basically a song about her emotional turmoil at seeing these like lost loves appearing in her life all at the same time. Pretty big deal. And she does like a panicked roof dance. Pretty good performance and like a pretty active performance from Meryl Streep, actually, this whole thing. But yeah, pretty good. I enjoyed it. And yeah, we get to like the bridge part of Us and Them with all the R's when she falls through like a trapdoor on the roof and gets pushed in by the backup singers, the Grecian gods, you know. And yeah, so she like literally drops in on these guys. And yeah, we get, by the way, in this song, I have posted a fantastic photo to you of Meryl Streep like peeking through the window looking at these guys upside down. She looks so bizarre. Never before have I seen someone who looks so different while hanging upside down. Like, she looks like a different person. Don't know what's going on with this.
Yeah, it was like when it happened, when I watched it, I like genuinely, something shifted in my insides. I was just like, whoa, you pay more attention. You're like, why is Meryl Streep upside down?
Right?
She's never been upside down before.
She's never been designed for that, you know?
No.
She's been put into a position that makes her into a completely different person.
Yeah.
You can't see her the same after seeing upside down Meryl Streep, that's for damn sure. Incredible stuff.
Yeah, I've just Googled it because I wanted to get a high-res picture.
Upside down Meryl Streep?
Meryl Streep goes upside down in Mary Poppins Returns as well.
What? Oh my god. Yeah. Maybe it's just a thing that she can do and we were wrong.
Yeah, maybe you're supposed to see Meryl Streep upside down.
Maybe we've been looking at her at the wrong angle all along.
Yeah. Should that be our next podcast as we watch Meryl Streep movies, but we flip the file.
Them upside down.
Yeah, either we're upside down or we have our TVs upside down.
Oh, God. Sounds like a lot of work. Like even more work than this show is. Somehow. Oh, my gosh. Amazing. I guess there's
the next line in our song is, I'm that little basket fish, little does he know, Meryl Streep is upside down, and then we'll get the rhyme.
We'll get the rhyme then. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get there. Yeah, that's good.
Let's call Abba when the song's done.
Yeah,
we've got a new hit for them.
Up. we got a song called Basket Fish for you. So she can't believe that all those boys are here and sort of like has a panicked moment. She's happy to see them all, but is like terrified that they're here and doesn't know how to react. Is really shocked. And yeah, she's basically worried that the secret of that she doesn't know who her real father is going to ruin Sophie's wedding, because of course she doesn't know that Sophie invited them at this stage. She's like, oh shit, all these three guys are here. How did they hear about the wedding? A, and B, like Sophie's going to freak if she finds out like who these people are, which is pretty fair as a reaction. But anyway, she like escapes, tells them all to like fuck off, go home on the boat, and they're like, oh, okay, it's good to see you, but whatever. And we go from there. She like heads off and runs back to the villa, where an overly flirtatious bartender is serving drinks to Donna's pals out here. This guy, I believe his character name is Pepper. Man, whoo! This guy's got a really like weird vibe. He is like fully in love with Tanya, which like fair play, good on you. But like, man, he's just going for it. It's just so out there. But yeah, I don't know.
There's a strange angle which we're gonna have to discuss in a couple songs' time. With like, everyone on this island is very willing to fall in love with the first person they meet who's not from this island.
Yes. That's that Aphrodite magic, man.
Yeah, that's got to be it.
As soon as someone lands on this island, someone on the island will fall in love with them. I guess it's some kind of, it's fated to be, because they go into Chiquita here, trying to figure out like what's wrong with Donna. Another song I'd never heard from Abba.
No, neither. Because they start this a cappella. So I was just like, oh, is this just a little song? Or is this Abba? And then obviously it turns into a full Abba number. I'm like, this is Abba.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like a montage of her being like cleaned up by her friends and like making her look nice after and recover from crying. Because she's, sort of having a breakdown about these guys. And yeah, even she doesn't know who the real father is, again, because of the, like, it is a true mystery, even to her. So that's interesting. And yeah, we go into Any Color You Like at this stage as well. We're out of us and them at this point. Yeah, I don't know who the us and them in that playthrough was, by the way. It doesn't really make any sense. Us, the dads, and them, the rest? I don't know. But,
us, the mortals, in the hands of the gods.
Oh, I like that read. But yeah, so they run off to look for the lads, but they've already left. They've run out of the goat house and gone back to the boat, Bill's boat, which they were told to leave. So, so it goes.
Yeah, they're good lads.
Yeah. And then, this is where we get that joke, the like hilarious trick of fate, and all the extras in the background laugh. And I am like massively confused on my first watch, slightly less confused on my second watch. And finally, I understand what the fuck is going on. Like, oh my God. It's such a non sequitur joke. Even the characters in the movie are like, what is happening? Like, it just doesn't land at all. Like, no one has said that those background characters are the fates, right? Oh, wild.
Yeah. Look, okay, it was the 2000s, right? The noughties, the zeros.
The zeros.
Decade. Yeah. It was, the internet was rising. Wikipedia would have full descriptions of every episode of something and explain what was a joke and what was a reference.
Whoa.
It was like, very big time for that kind of comedy.
Man, that's like Wikipedia's like us. God damn.
Yeah. Like, I think it was just one of those kind of jokes that was supposed to, you didn't get it, but then someone would explain it on Wikipedia.
Okay.
And the next time you watched it with your friends, you'd be like, do you know why that's happening? It's actually a bit of a funny joke.
God. Those are the worst jokes.
Yeah. Well, I've got I think I've talked about it on this show before. My theory is like reference humor and those kind of like overly obtuse jokes that needed the internet to explain them were kind of like a kind of revolt against the Bush era. Like the idea that, you know, there's a divide of the people who still think George Bush should be president and who shouldn't be, who think he shouldn't be. And we're going to pull that divide based on who's going to get these jokes.
Yeah, who's in the know and who's not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's definitely heavily associated with that like time and media. So I reckon that's a great call. Nice. Okay.
Yeah, it just doesn't play well now when we're like, you know, comedy's meta now.
Yeah, I guess so. That's how we do it. We laugh at the idea of a joke. It's well, this movie's like 2008, so we're not that far gone, right?
Yeah, that's true.
You know, like it's kind of fine. It's the mum's catching up with this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
it's fine. Anyway, yes. So she basically, tail end of this song summary is that she just doesn't want Sophie to find out about the whole situation, and is feeling a great deal of guilt about the whole thing. And her friends tell her that she just needs to like loosen up and go back to her old self when she was an old performer in Donna and the Dynamos, like get that confidence back. And they launch into Dancing Queen, a true Abba banger. Always goes off at a party. Fucking hell. I've definitely danced at a wedding to this song. 100%.
Oh, of course. The wedding's not legally binding until you
dance to Dancing Queen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, it's like sort of, this is a strange sequence as well, because it starts off as in this bedroom with like just friends like building confidence in Donna, who eventually comes around and starts like jumping on her bed. But then the power of this like empowering the girls kind of mentality extends out into the rest of the island, because they start running down the streets and collecting other ladies who join in the song, sort of like Pied Piper of Hamelin style.
Yeah.
And they're all running together and all singing the song and end up down at the docks, like doing one big musical number together, which is like, you know, classic musical shit, but also like vaguely terrifying, because they're like... There's like random guys in the background like playing some chess or something, and they're like, whoa, look at that, it's the Dancing Queen. Like, they are completely unaffected by this dance number, whereas every other like female person on the island has been drawn in by the siren's call. You know? Yeah.
There's definitely, it might be the Pink Floyd playing, but this movie has a lot of scary, sinister overtones.
Yeah.
Watch us all get possessed and go dance by the waters, and then some of us will dive in.
Yeah, right? It feels very culty. It felt wrong seeing it. When they, like, this... I thought about, like, this song started with, like, the other friends just putting on funny costumes to cheer up their friend. But now look at... There's, like, 100 people on the docks. I don't know how we got here. Like... insane.
Imagine you and I accidentally start that by just singing each other a little song, and we're like, oh no, shit, this has gone out of hand.
Is that how
these
our
people
rhyme
are now
ends?
In the palms of our hands?
Oh god. Our rhyme ends with just like everyone joining our cult. God damn.
How do you make that rhyme with no? We've almost got it. Then we're free.
Oh no. Join our cult if you're in the know. I don't know.
That's good. That rhymes with no twice, but...
It does rhyme no twice, which is a cardinal sin. I don't know. I hope you're writing this down. I'm not writing this down.
Oh, no, yeah. I'm the little basket fish. Little does he know. Meryl Streep is upside down.
Oh, man. We've left ourselves very little... maybe this isn't it. Maybe we need to keep going. Because I can't think of anything that rhymes there yet.
Okay.
Oh, God.
We'll come back to that line, but we know it's going to have a sinister overtone.
Anyway. So this insane sequence happens, and then, they get... Rosie and Tanya get pushed into the water, and Meryl Streep does a fucking sick bomb into the water. which is something that happens in this film that I'm thrilled to say. And yeah, there's also in this song, there's a random guy playing an upright piano in the back of a boat, like a dinghy. Who's this guy?
Do you know who he is?
No.
He's Bjorn from Abba.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's ruined my Abbaverse theory, though. Oh God!
Unless he's come to visit,
he's got to be like one of the gods. I feel like he's in charge of. That's why this like thrall has happened to draw them down to the docks, because a member of like one of the four most important people in this universe has appeared and has drawn the people of the realm. That's what through song. That's exactly what's going on here.
That's it.
Oh no! Oh God!
What if like Abba in one universe, like, you know, disco didn't have a people didn't go against disco in the 80s, thus pulling Abba's tiny like inch of their power away that they've lost in our universe. They continued to grow and grow. They, you know, overwhelmed the universe, so like some sort of higher power sent Abba to the small island that exists outside of time.
Right.
And then they've just continued to grow more and more powerful, and now they've created the Abbaverse on this island.
Wow. Yeah.
And occasionally people just get driven to madness by the pure Abba of it all.
Yep.
And have to leap into the ocean.
There's a movie in that. That's Mamma Mia 3, I think.
Yeah.
Abba Island. Where, it's actually not Aphrodite, but Aphrodite. Oh, no. Anyway, I'm so thrilled that there's a reason for that upright piano, man. That's fantastic news. Oh, I'm elated. Yeah. I had so many questions, and now they are all answered.
That might be a podcast first.
Yeah, wow.
Not just for our one, for any podcast, answering a question.
Pink Floyd agree, because they sing Can't Think of Anything to Say, as we are going into Eclipse for the final part of this album playthrough. Sophie is chasing after the dads who are sailing away on the boat, and so she like dives into the water to join them on there, and they're like, oh, actually, we're just like gonna go around the island and get out of Donna's hair for a little bit, basically. We still intend on attending the wedding, because we're flown from like London.
Yeah.
So like, you know, we're here, we're gonna go, but like, you know, we're gonna not freak her out too much. Fair enough. And yeah, they have some like quality time out here on the ocean. This like dad collective and Sophie doing a bit of getting to know each other, as the lads sing a wee song. Colin Firth on the guitar, who can actually play guitar, by the way. Pretty cool.
Oh, no.
Yeah, at least this song. And they sing Our Last Summer, which is like a very droning, boring song, in my opinion, but that's fine. And yeah, we get to evaluate their singing capabilities, Gareth.
Yeah, this is our first time.
Yeah, this is the dad song, because they all get a little bit. I feel like Colin Firth's okay, middling. He's not got great tone, but he
used to be in a band in real life.
Yeah,
and play the guitar.
Yeah, but so, obviously his voice has changed since then. But I would say among the three, he's the best singer. Stellan Skarsgård has sort of like a deeper, like baritone-y kind of vibe going on, but he's like, I don't know, I feel like he can sing kind of as well. Like at least he's got tune. Pierce Brosnan, Gareth. He cannot sing. He cannot hold a tune. It is
fascinating,
wild to me that he was cast as like not only the dad who has to sing the most in the movie, gets the most numbers, but like the main dude, like I feel like Piers. I think it's just because he's like the biggest name actor, right, among the three. But I feel like Colin Firth and him could have swapped roles and it would have been fine.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I thought going in. I thought like everyone, because you and I have a circle of friends who love Pierce.
Yeah.
So we all knew he was in Mamma Mia. And you'd always ask, like, if you hadn't seen it, you'd be like, does Pierce sing?
Yeah.
People are like, he sings. I always thought he like might join in on one song. He'd be like,
yeah, right. That's what I thought too.
I did not realize it was like, hey, Pierce, much like the Greek god Atlas, you're carrying the heavens of Abba on your shoulders.
Right?
Yeah. Here you go. Catch, sport. Oh, you don't know what this movie is? Too bad.
Too
Sing
bad.
for us,
Learn
Pierce.
5 songs, dick. Like, man, unreal. I will say about the trio, they're all giving it a damn good go, and I got to respect that. You know, like they're all fully committing to how like silly this movie is, and all of these musical numbers. They're at least like fucking trying. So I have to respect that. It's just that boy, can Pierce not sing? Man,
it's like if you miss it, like I don't want to shame him too badly, but it is like kind of a bleat Christopher Mumble.
Yeah,
it's probably. Yeah.
You can see where it's coming from. His voice is very similar, but it's like he's just never sang before, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
He would have the thing is like he would have had training, right? If he knew he couldn't sing, he would have like definitely had training from like vocal coaches and things like that. And this was the result.
Surely, right?
Like, man, it's tough. It's tough, man.
Yeah. Especially like this is the height of music industry technology, 2008, like auto-tune.
Yeah,
it's
right.
Huge.
Right?
T-Pain, Kanye West, like
oh my god,
doing amazing things with auto-tune. Just chuck Pierce a little bit.
God, it would have been so good if it was like Harry and Bill are both singing with their regular voices and fucking Pierce Brosnan in his 808s era, just like belting out an auto-tune ballad. That would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Over like an acoustic guitar. Fuck. I love it.
He goes like full Kanye West, like End of Runaway, like a full auto-tune solo. The lights all change on him on this little boat.
I would love that.
Yes. Oh.
It would have been truly terrible, but like it already was. So, fantastic. Yeah. So they have this wee song and get to know each other, etc. Also appreciate that every time Stellan Skarsgård / Bill is on his boat, he is shirtless, and that is all the time.
Yeah. That is 100% guy in his 40s who owns a boat energy.
Yeah.
Like, no
shirt. Sometimes no pants.
Yeah.
Like,
but plenty of service.
Oh, yeah. Full service. Yeah. So even after all this time hanging out through this song and montage, Sophie is no closer to figuring out who her father is. In fact, she's bonding with all 3 of them, and it's getting harder and harder for her. Basically, we go into Breathe, the second play of Breathe here, and she's starting to basically get very worried. And the dads promise they'll be in attendance at the wedding tomorrow, but they're just going to like hang out on Bill's boat for the evening. Sweet.
Yeah.
She swims back to shore, and Sky appears on the beach, who has been worried about her. She kind of fair enough. It's the day before her wedding, and she's unaccounted for. So he's a bit worried. And he's been preparing for his stag do. Apparently, she plans to tell Sky about the whole scheme here, but like he interrupts her with like plans about his stag do, and how much they love each other. And then they go into "Lay All Your Love on Me," which is this is an actual ABBA banger. I like that this is like
the song rolls.
It's like a minor key disco bop. I fucking love this song. It's like fucking Dracula could get down to this ABBA hit. It's so good. You know what I mean?
Yes, 100%. I didn't until you said it, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one. But it's weirdly performed by these two, like very like hypersexual, and that they're like all over each other as they're singing it. But they like start like laying over top of each other on the beach, and then who should appear but the scuba ninjas, Gareth, the members of the bachelor party who are come to abduct Sky and take him off for some fun involving a jet ski. And yeah, they do like a funny little like duck walk sort of scuba dance along the boardwalk here and do
my gosh.
Do a bunch
This
of flexing.
walk.
It's a pretty crazy walk.
These men high kicking in their flippers, duck walking, big strides, no shirts. Never seen them before.
No.
It's honestly, to the sweet sounds of On the Run by Pink Floyd, absolutely fucking terrifying.
100%, yes.
Yeah.
If you've never seen like 15 flexing muscle-bound dudes, it's with Pink Floyd's On the Run playing in the background. That's a nightmare experience.
Yeah.
God damn.
This is the point where it turns for me, by the way, listeners. This is when this movie becomes a cult horror.
Yeah.
Like, this Dark Side of the Moon turns Mamma Mia into Midsommar. Right here. And I don't know if it can turn itself back.
Oh my god. Yeah, that is on the money. Holy shit. That's money, Gareth. That's really good. Oh my god. Yeah. I love that. These guys swam here to like do like intense cult things. Unaccounted for. Unnamed characters. Oh my god.
Yeah.
We'll see them again.
Are they even at the wedding? Who's to say?
Unknown.
Did they exist prior to the stag do?
No, they've crawled from Davy Jones' locker to celebrate the last day of Sky being unmarried.
These are the men who died in ships that crashed against the rocks to the sounds of the sirens.
Yeah, of Abba Island.
Yeah.
Oh god, so good. Yes, so he's having a whale of a time on a jet ski, and we cut from here at the end of this song to the bachelorette party, which is happening at the same time. Is it a bachelorette party? Hens do. It's what we typically say in New Zealand.
Yeah. We'll go the New Zealand one because bachelorette party, it doesn't feel as fun as the hens do.
No, it doesn't. Anyway.
It's the word do that really does it.
Yeah, hens do, stag do is the Kiwi way of saying it. But anyway, the hens do is taking place as well. Donna fucking tosses a bottle of wine over her shoulder into the like frame right, and I don't know what happened to that, but bloody dangerous. Not here for that. I'm like a dad attending a hens do there, me saying that. Anyway, but there's going to be a special performance, a reforming of the Donna and the Dynamos group. They come out in full ABBA gear, like full disco tech outfits from the 70s, and perform Super Trooper, another ABBA track, obviously. And they're like dressed in full costume and have a disco light floor set up. Very fancy.
Very fun.
Yeah. So like got all the disco moves. Yeah, it's good stuff. Again, all this stuff has been like set up by the Grecian gods. Like they put a lot of fucking work into this expensive wedding. Anyway, I'm just watching the budget for this wedding, man. Me and Sky have been crunching the numbers, and we're trying to save for our trip out of this goddamn cursed island. It's not looking good. Anyway. The dads fucking rock up, called by the siren song, presumably, from their boat. They crashed against the rocks and have come on in and appear in the background. And when Donna notices them, we get the crash sound and On the Run on this playthrough. So, that's a crash sound in her heart, I guess. Yeah. Also, weirdly, through this performance, Sophie looks like she's about to burst into tears until right at the end when she just, like, screeches like a banshee in joy. It's very strange seeing, like, watching your mum sing and being very quiet, and she just looks like she's obviously moved, but she just looks kind of sad. I don't know. Maybe I'm misreading it, but it's very strange.
Yeah, I feel like she's just acting, like, doing a little too much good acting for the situation.
Maybe, yeah.
Like, the musical kind of just required her to be, like, happy. Instead she's overcomplicated it.
Definitely. So we get the clocks going off as the performance ends, and Donna makes a hasty exit. Again, still really worried about those dads ruining this goddamn wedding. And so she's running off dealing with that. we go into, in the movie, Gimme, 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 A Man After Midnight, and suddenly the bachelorette party takes a turn into some kind of like sex fever dream where these dads are tied against stakes and they're like being devoured like zombies.
This is 100% Midsummer.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, yeah.
It's super uncomfortable. It's really weird, just like for age disparity reasons alone, really. But it's like they're like a like a tribe of Amazonian women like crawling over the first man that they've ever seen in their lives. Like that's the feeling here. It's very weird.
Trained only by the praying mantis to love and then murder.
Yeah, right. That's the feeling. Stellan Skarsgård's fucking loving it, but Bill, sorry, and Harry's like dealing with it, but not really enjoying it, as far as I can tell. But yeah, it's a very strange sequence for Gimme, Gimme, Gimme. Again, it just feels shoehorned in. I don't know what it's like trying to say, what this song means in the context of the movie. Just like, man, give me a man after midnight, I guess.
I think it's again like the curse of Aphrodite is they have to fall in love with anyone who enters the island, and now that 3 men have shown up at the same time, it's just too powerful.
It's a feeding frenzy. Yes. Because the song doesn't relate to anything that's happening in the scene at all. Sam talks to Sophie about wanting to confront Donna basically with his feelings about their relationship. But Sophie's like, no, don't do that. She's like barely keeping it together as it is. And he also weirdly is like, this sketch you did of me on the boat, boy, that's a great sketch. You should consider being an artist. Like he's like desperately trying to find like a dad connection with her. It's like, man, this one thing that you did in the hour that I've known you, man, that really impressed me. You know?
Yeah, you should abandon the island you've lived on.
Yeah, that's his take. It sucks. I don't understand, but fair enough. So that's just like that he like steadfastly stands by that stance as well. It's just like that's his move for the rest. This sketch was incredibly convincing to him. So from here we get each of the dads realizing that they could potentially be her dad, or they all think that they are her dad. And the first one that we get is Bill realizing, and I feel like his is the most A, realistic, and B, heartfelt. I really liked this scene because he sort of panics and runs away and apologizes and just shouts an apology at Sophie and after escaping the horde of frenzied ladies and runs off to the beach, and then they have a genuine moment together where he's very terrified of this dynamic shift in his life, but accepts it, and then she asks if he'll give her away at the wedding, and he's like, yeah, and laughs, and then they hug. It's really lovely. I thought it's the most genuine, and then the other two are just shoehorned in. It felt like the issue is that they follow this, and they're supposed to be compounding the tension put on Sophie, right? They're more pressure mechanisms rather than heartfelt moments. Is the issue that I have with them. It's at this stage as well.
Yeah, they have to serve two purposes as opposed to just be nice.
Yeah, so that kind of brings them down for me. It's at this point that the bachelor party invades the stag do invades the hen do. Stags and hens mingling together. It's mass hysteria as they swing down on ropes and wearing masks for more tribal rituals to commence. wild.
So scary, especially to Great Gig in the Sky by rock band Pink Floyd.
Who the hell set up these ropes is what I want to know.
Yeah. It would have been these poor island
right?
citizens.
It's the classic wedding sailor ropes that hang down from the rafters. Like villas have. Oh, ridiculous. Anyway, yeah, they've like descended upon the crowd and are like picking up ladies and running off with them, and crazy shit's happening out here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's terrifying.
Yeah, during this frenzied sequence, the other dads come in and suddenly realize that they are the dad, and they're like, "Oh, yes, I'll give you away at the wedding," and they like. Yeah, they just sort of shouted at her rather than like actually have a moment with Sophie, which doesn't land. I don't know. It kind of sucks, especially Harry's one. He just like sort of screams at her from across the dance floor, being like, "I won't let you down." It's like, oh God, what? I don't know. It's weird. Effectively, this like lie has been compounding on Sophie, and she just sort of has a panic attack and faints in the middle of a swirling dance floor. They all like spin around her in a circle, in concentric circles, right? Concentric circles, is that the right word? They're going in opposite directions. Or is concentric circles like a Venn diagram? I don't actually know. We'll find out later.
I know scary dancing, and that's what this is.
Yeah, scary dance circles. And she faints in the middle on top of the cracked dolphin mosaic. And we fade to black, and then it's the following day. The spinning people is a very good vibe for On the Run, I will admit. Are we in On the Run? I hope we are.
No, we're in Great Gig in the Sky, but it's good for them too.
Good for them too. I don't know why I wrote On the Run. That doesn't make any sense.
We're losing it.
Yeah. We are. Great Gig in the Sky. That does make more sense. Yeah. Just like a sad moment of panic, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes. So we get the following morning. There's a mirror shot with Donna and her friends waking up, and Sophie and her friends waking up in the exact same position and framing, etc. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And they're both scared about the day's events ahead and what could happen with the dads. They're both worried about the other one finding out and having a panic attack. And so the friends vow to distract the dads and keep them away until the wedding ceremony so that they can't cause any more trouble. Yeah, pretty funny. Rosie immediately goes to the boat and tries to distract Bill, who apparently like has fallen for her in a little bit, like has a crush on her, which is something that Harry says. Yeah, a little convo out here, which is pretty cute. And she's like come out here to distract him and send Harry off to be distracted by Tanya. So I don't know what the other girls are doing. Not really anything existing on the beach.
Doing the best.
Yeah. But anyway, they also, Harry and Bill are having a conversation with sort of neither of them realize that the other is talking about themselves when they're talking about finding out that they're Sophie's dad. They both think they're talking about each other. You're like, oh man, what a revelation. And they're like, yeah, I know. Well, all will be revealed at the wedding. They're all like talking in circles without ever saying what's actually going on, which is pretty funny.
Very like carefully written and like classy. This kind of joke.
Always good as well. Difficult to do. So I appreciated it. We go into money now after classically following Great Gig in the Sky and not on the Run. Donna and Sophie have like a disagreement where Donna thinks that Sophie is coming to her and confiding in her because she wants to cancel the wedding. And Sophie's like, whoa, no, what? What are you talking about? And she's like, oh, I thought you like were not wanting to go away and live on the island here with me. And she's like, no, I don't want to make any of the same mistakes that you made. I want to get out of here. And so, pretty brutal, pretty harsh way of putting it, honestly. And they run off both hurt because they're keeping secrets from each other as well. we go into the money solo as bloody Sam comes up at the worst opportunity. He picks really bad moments and, confronts Donna about controlling Sophie's life first. He's like, you should let her go and do her thing. Surely she doesn't want to live with you. It's like, dude, she like just ran off upset for that exact reason. Like, fuck, we get it. Stop being a dick. And
you just met her yesterday as well.
Right, yeah. And then, like, brings up all these old feelings that they had for each other, brings up their old relationship for each other. And, it's like they sing SOS together here. More truly poor Pierce Brosnan singing. And then...
Yeah, I had an ex who loved this version. Like,
what?
She would put this on in the car.
Why? Oh my God, that sucks. Wow.
Yeah, that's why I thought Pierce was such a smaller part of it, because he only does a little bit of like, when you go.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
It's very like Basset Houndy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But yeah, the song is them realizing that they do still have feelings for each other, but not really knowing what that means, you know. Yeah. And what happens now? Yeah, money ends with like Donna wanting to come and help Sophie prepare, but she like does the classic like get to the door, go to knock, and not do it, and then run away. You know?
Yeah.
That classic like romance movie move. So frustrating. Why go all the way to the door? Oh, anyway.
Change your mind sooner, folks.
Yeah. Pink Floyd do the like cruising for a bruising ad-lib is here as well. And yeah, she's cruising for a bruising of the heart. Man, that's what's going on. Out on the beach, Tanya is supposed to be distracting Harry here in like a little pedal boat, of which he like fucking dives off of because he's come up with a brilliant idea. And she's like, oh, okay, whatever. I gave up on that immediately. Because who should show up but bloody Pepper again? Yeah. And then they have a song together about it's Does Your Mother Know? Or Does Your Mother Know That You're Out? Right? Basically like that like age distance relationship song that they have here. Feels really weird in general. Another
yeah.
It's another...
No shade on it, but it's the fact there's a whole crowd of just the boys wearing and like cheering it on and really just wanting it to happen and wanting to watch every second is the weirdest part of
this. This feels very Grease as well in that same way.
That tell me more energy.
Yeah, definitely. This is also where the craziest dance move happens. There's like a fast side-to-side clap move that gets repeated in this dance sequence, and it looks like so high energy and so like bad. It's like not a good dance move. But it just stuck out to me. Most of the dancing in this movie is pretty okay. It's just that one I was like, whoa, this is like a weirdly intense dance song for like a dance move for a song about like a 50-year-old going out with a 20-year-old. Like, don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, it's a high risk move for a low reward.
Yeah, definitely. But fair play. Yeah. The song also ends with all the boys like fainting from being like so turned on or something, and the girls leaving and going like, down boys, we did good. And I'm like, what does that mean? I don't understand. I get it, I guess. They're just so sexy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, Gareth.
So sexy, you gotta faint.
So sexy. You know? It felt, it's very like, very Grease, very 50s feeling, where the boys all fall down because they're just so in love. Anyway, back at the wedding, the like ceremony dinner's being prepared and Donna's overseeing it. There's a hilarious like piece of dialogue which I love, where she says, "Get that meat out of the heat, Carlos."
Yeah.
Which is so good. I just want to say that to people that like need to put sunblock on.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Especially, it like really sticks out, especially when you're just reading the subtitles and because neither of us know Abba too well, so I assumed like, oh, it rhymes. Is it the start of a song?
Get that meat out of the heat. It's one of Abba's lesser known songs, which they released about food safety. Oh, so good.
Should get that meat out of the heat, Carlo, because that rhymes with no. That could be the last line of Friendship Rhyme.
Yeah. Yeah, we could put that in there.
It throws the meter off really badly.
It really does.
Little basket fish. Little does he know, Meryl Streep is upside down. Get that meat out of the heat, Carlo.
It is terrible, but I think it has to be that. That's done.
I hope you remember that for next time when we finally meet each other at the edge of the pier.
Yeah, at the airport. I'm going to scream, and then I'm going to run over to you, and then I'm going to perform that while doing a very intense clap dance.
Yeah. And then straight back to the subway.
And yeah, by then it'll probably be like a few months from now where both of us have forgotten and like I've done a quick bit of research and you'll be very scared, as will most onlookers. I can't wait for that.
You would have been to namemygranny.live and remembered all the lyrics.
Yeah, I will. Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be great. Yes. Harry comes down to the ceremony preparation and gives Donna a check as his contribution to the party, to the wedding, actually, as his like fatherly duty, effectively. It's quite funny because she's like, "Oh, I can't accept this," and he's like, "Nope, you can't. You got to do it. I'm running away."
Yeah.
You'll have to catch me first, is what he says. But like, it's a check. You could just not cash the check. Guys, do you know how checks work? Right? Like, am I crazy? I don't know. It seems really ridiculous to me that you would run away, but whatever. Okay.
Maybe there's a real problem on this island of chicks flying, getting caught by a breeze, flying,
magical chicks
sliding straight underneath bankers' hands to be officiated.
That's how the movie Blank Check happened, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
There's one of these chicks from this magical Abba island.
Yeah. Colin Firth wrote it. It flew all the way to a small boy.
Yeah. So down at the docks, the boats are being decorated for a journey to a different island for the wedding, a chapel island. Incredible how much this wedding costs. So much is going into it. God, it would be such a fucking rigmarole. You're already on an island, a beautiful island, and you've got to like travel by boat to another island, which has like 15 flights of stairs up to the chapel, only to do that all the way back to the bloody villa to have dinner. And oh my God, what a fucking mess. This wedding would take ages. Anyway, I don't want to go.
Well, you know the theory that like on an early date you should do something kind of like big and different so that you've both got a weird united experience?
Not this.
Like go to medieval times or something.
Okay.
But like, yeah, why not solidify that and, really, the first day of being a married couple, you have to go on a big walk up and down some stairs a whole bunch of times.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that works. I don't know about first date being somebody's wedding. That's pretty intense.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But fair enough. Like, I don't know.
Blind date?
Yeah, first blind date, I'm taking you to a made-up Greek island to attend a stranger's wedding. Pretty intense stuff.
Look out. Everyone on this island sings.
They all sing, and you're guaranteed to fall in love if you go.
Yeah.
Wow. No pressure. I've already said you're my +1.
Yeah.
Wow. Yes, so Sophie chooses the day of her wedding, to reveal to Sky the whole scheme with reuniting with her dad. And honestly, he's pretty justifiably upset by this. He does sort of take it the wrong way, as like he's like, oh, so this whole big showy thing is actually about you reuniting with your father. It's not really about our love or wanting to be married. And she's like, no, I do love you, etc. That isn't it, mate. That ain't it.
Yeah.
I understand being upset by this like revelation, because it's a dick move, being like making it all about this other thing on your wedding day, and also not telling him. Like, he would have probably been like reasonably supportive of her wanting to find her father if it wasn't the same day as her wedding. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but he also then makes it about, like, it's clearly about something else for him.
Yeah, definitely. He immediately channels it into this other thing that he's like, oh yeah, I don't want to get married, by the way. Like, that's like really what he's hung up on, and using this as leverage to like fuck her over. That's what Sky's angle is. And again,
he just wanted to go on a nice holiday.
Yeah, to reiterate, Sky sucks. We don't like him.
Is there a black hole above us? Because the sky sucks.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, he is, like, I understand. I would be upset in the same situation, but I wouldn't be like, fuck you. You know?
Yeah.
I would be like, let's still get married. It doesn't matter, right? Surely. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's bad. We can talk about it later, but today's about us.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Anyway.
Well, there's something bigger at foot, but let's work on that together.
Yeah, that's what being married's all about. Oh, God. Anyway. She's come to him for, like, the comfort, basically. She's, like, finally confided in him. And yeah, even though she's like made a bad decision, but yeah, he just like fucking leaves her cold. He's like, I don't know how I feel, and then just like leaves. It's like, fuck, okay, lame. And then yeah, Sam again takes this as the perfect opportunity to enter frame, as like people are upset and he's drawn like a moth to flame. Is like, excellent. Now I must devour your sadness and grow stronger. Yeah, but yeah, he comes in to like counsel Sophie. Is like, I'm your dad now. I know what it's like, girl. And she's like, shut up. You like have no idea what you're talking about. Did you she's like, the situation is totally different. Were you in love with the person that you married? And he's like, no. So get dunked, Sam.
Yeah, Sam.
Oh, get out of here. You can't sing and you can't dad. The worst. Anyway, yeah, so Donna sees that Sophie's upset. She's like sort of just wandering around, and then she like reassures her that everything's going to be fine, and then she like prepares her for the wedding, does the whole get her into the dress and all that stuff. And we have a song again here about your like kid growing older. What's the name of the song? Slipping Through My Fingers is the name of the track. Leverage to be about like your kid growing older and remembering the good times of looking after your child, and then them eventually growing up and needing you less and less is sort of the vibe here.
It's some of the sweetest acting in this movie. Like, it's so lovely, this scene, and you really believe them as mother and daughter.
It's very wholesome. Them reconciling and like hugging each other a hell of a lot, and like it's quite sweet. It ends with Sophie, like, she says that she's worried about letting Donna down, and Donna's like, what are you talking about? Like, you couldn't let me down. And this is where she admits that like her mum wouldn't let her come back home when she got pregnant. And Sophie asks her to give her away, and so that's 4 people that are going to be giving her away at the wedding. I guess this is the one that actually counts, because I feel like it's not the move to ask 4 different people to give you away at the wedding, but fair enough. I guess all the dads get the memo, because they're all in the audience and not giving her away. yeah, they all find out through the magic of the island. But anyway, finally it's time for the actual wedding. And the party heading off for the chapel. Sophie gets to ride a little donkey. Very biblical.
Yes. Also, the donkey is covered in the exact flowers from the film Midsommar.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
What's happening, folks?
What's going to happen in that chapel, Gareth? I don't know. Yeah. You go in there and Sky's just, no, I'm not even going to say it. Anyway.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're going to say.
Yeah. Anyway. We were in brain damage at the end of playthrough 2 here as well. So she's off going to the chapel and Donna sort of lags behind and is intercepted by Sam once again. And they have another song, this time The Winner Takes It All, which is like not really about what's happening in the scene, but that's okay. I guess it kind of is.
This was the song that made them go like, oh, we could write a musical about Abba.
Really? All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's definitely like, it's one of the more layered kind of complex.
That's true.
Like all ABBA songs have a lot more wrinkles than you kind of realize.
Yeah.
On the first listen, but this is one where the wrinkles are right out there in front, like a linen shirt.
Oh, wow. It's a ruffled shirt of music.
It's the pirate's shirt of music, much like what ABBA would wear.
Yeah, wow. I like that. Yeah.
I just realized I haven't told you my favorite ABBA fact this whole episode.
Oh, lay it on me.
So, this deep into the show, the reason ABBA dress the way they do, with the, like, huge boots, the, like, diamantes, the full polyester outfits with the huge shoulder pads, is due to a Swedish tax law that means if you buy clothes that are so outlandish that you're obviously not going to wear them for everyday life, they must only be being used for work.
It's their work
you don't
uniform.
have to pay tax on them. Yeah.
Wow.
So ABBA claimed those as the uniforms. Didn't pay any tax.
The tax write-off outfit.
Yeah.
Incredible. That's very smart. That is a great fact. Oh my God. Man. And it led to such like an iconic part of their look. That's very cool. I wonder if like Kraftwerk and stuff like that get the same deal. Any kind of band that has like a sort of look associated with them. Man, especially like European bands. Interesting.
Well, that band Lordi, do you remember they were in Eurovision like early 2000s and they were dressed pretty much exactly like orcs?
Whoa.
Were they getting their orc costumes like tax-free?
Wow, I hope so.
Yeah.
That's something I hope for anyone that purchases an orc costume. Just like manage to somehow write it off as a work expense. That's a win. Oh, fantastic.
I do wonder, like, if you just bought clothes and just wore them for both on stage and off stage, wouldn't that kind of cost, like, you'd be still saving more money because you haven't bought the initial...
Yeah, maybe.
The secondary outfit?
Oh, no. Maybe it's a fabricated fact. And they just, like, they justified it after the fact. They were like, this would be cool. And then they managed to, like, hey, happy accident. We actually get to write these off as well. Like, I don't know.
That's got to be it. Yeah. I like that.
Oh, well. Anyway, Winner Takes It All. Pretty cool song, like very ballady. A lot of singing on the cliffs out here as we finish up playthrough 2. Meryl Streep's got a big red scarf, which is again very perfume-ad. We get the final lines of her song as we're getting the heartbeats of the second playthrough, which is pretty cool. Not a bad sync here. The like two songs sort of winding up here. We get like a one final, the winner takes it all. Sorry. As we get the heartbeats at the end of a clip. So like right after that big chord. Pretty cool.
I thought it was really like a nice kind of closing off point, and then to rejoin the album at the wedding. Nice and classy.
Coming in on the wedding, and Sophie's like awkwardly waiting outside with like kids playing hacky sack or something out here, which is pretty funny. And we're in playthrough 3, and Donna walks Sophie down the aisle, finally. And Sky is wearing that awful outfit that I talked about.
Yeah.
What is going on? He looks like your like friend's brother. I know exactly who he looks like, Gareth. He looks like that one character from Speed Racer grown up. With the watch, with two
Spritle.
watches. Yeah, he looks like grown up Spritle in this moment.
Yeah.
That one
that's
JPEG we
annoying.
spent 15 minutes talking about.
Yeah.
That's what's throwing me.
Oh, no.
Oh, anyway, fair enough. Congrats to Spritle for getting married, but anyway.
Yeah.
We get the big reveal here at the end where Donna gets up and like finally confronts the situation and says like the dads are here and that she doesn't know who the dads are or like which one is the dad really. And the same goes for Sophie, and it's like, oh shit, no one knew who the dad is. Pretty big deal. And yeah, Sam gets up and he gives his own personal revelation, stealing the spotlight, that when he left to go get married, he didn't go through with it and came back to the island. But in the week that he was gone, Donna was already with Bill at the time. And so he like left half heartbroken and did get married in the end in like a horrible, loveless marriage.
Yeah.
Which he had two kids with. So not great.
What's also wild is he says constantly, I have 2 adult children.
Yeah.
But like, they would be younger than Sophie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Surely.
They would be. They would be like probably like 17-ish, right? Or like 19 max, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know, I guess they're tiny little Pierce Brosnans who he immediately sent off into the world.
Yeah, with little briefcases to go and run the company.
To become spies or volcano experts.
Yeah. The 2 possible career paths in the Brosnan family. The Carmichael family, sorry.
Oh, yes.
Anyway, yeah, I do like that the dads all get up and accept shared responsibility for being Sophie's dad. They don't care who the real dad is. They all like Sophie and they all want to be her dad. And I think that's nice. Yeah. That's wholesome.
I love that. And then the fact it's never answered who the biological father is.
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't matter if there's love.
Yeah. Do we want to play a game where we pick who we think it actually is, or would that ruin it?
Let's do it. I have written that in my notes, and also I know who the writers have Word of God canon.
Yo!
Who the writers have said is the father.
Okay.
Despite no evidence in the script.
Okay. My pick is...
So, who do you reckon?
Sure. My pick is definitely Bill. Mainly because they had the best and most heartfelt, like, reuniting moment. And also, I think they, like, have similar genetics. I think.
Yeah, they look the most alike as well.
Right? So, like, I think that he would be a cool adventure dad. And, I think he's the pick. Would you agree?
Yeah, I don't know if he'd be the best, like, if you had to choose one to be your dad, but he is definitely, like, there's no doubt in my mind that he is the dad.
Yeah. That's sweet.
And yeah, that's, if you don't want to know who the writers have chosen, skip ahead 15 seconds.
Yeah.
But the writers chose Bill as well.
Yo!
They say he's the dad.
Okay, great. That's it.
Yeah.
No further reaction to let listeners know. Cool. So
that was very well done. Good podcasting.
Yeah. I thought that's quite sweet that they all accept responsibility. And they say that they would take a paternity test if she wanted, and she's like, nah, it's fine, you can all be my dad. And then she has a second revelation where it's like, hey, let's not get married. To Sky, you don't want to get married. You always wanted to just like save money and travel. Also, we're very young. She finally realized here, and I am shouting at the screen. I am furious in these like 30 seconds that this wedding has been a colossal waste of time. Because so much has gone into this bloody wedding, and like for it not to happen, I'd be livid. But thankfully, Sam chooses...
You've flown all this way.
I have. I've come from bloody London, Gareth.
Yeah. Sweating in your suit and no wedding.
God damn it. I walked up all those fucking stairs.
Yeah. You had to set it up because no one else was setting up the wedding?
No one else was helping. They were all singing. Anyway. Yes, we are in On the Run for me being furiously angry. So that's a sink in my life.
To give us one extra reason to scream is Sophie says, like, let's get off this island and see the world. And Pink Floyd mutter, race towards an early grave.
Yo, they disagree with this move. They want this wedding to happen as much as me.
Yeah, they're like, do not leave this island.
Oh. Sam saves the day, though. He saves this fucking wedding budget by proposing on the spot to Donna, but revealing that he's always loved her over that time. Screw his ex-wife and kids who have no idea about this. She
I'm probably like, where's Dad?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And he proposes to her, and the crowd encourage her to say yes through the medium of the song I Do, I Do, I Do, I Do, I Do, which is written in my notes as I Do, I Do, I Do, I Do, Dio, which is a different version done by Ronnie James Dio, I think, which I can't wait to hear. But yeah.
The other definitive cover is the one by Cal from Keenan and Cal about orange soda.
Oh, yeah?
Just 90s kids.
Just 90s kids. Just 90s things.
90s kids.
You could also do Dido, 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 Dido.
Oh.
That would work as well. It's more of a mournful tune, that one.
Or what do Abba say when they're, like, calling their friends idiots? They just go, doy, 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 doy.
Oh, this joke has legs like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah. Is it wearing Abba's famous boots? Because it's got legs.
Oh, yeah. Nice. ZZ Top.
From Abba to ZZ Top, we've got it.
We've got it. Oh, nice. There we go. We should put that on our podcast bio. I like that. It doesn't make any sense, but it's great.
Communication. Yeah, it's not what we do.
It's not, but it's like it works, you know.
Yeah, if we started a classic rock station.
That's it. Yeah. Sync Floyd FM. I like that.
Ooh,
okay. Yeah, so she does say, I do, I do, I do, I do, I do, and they get married. Here, the priest is bloody stoked, as am I, that this wedding is not going to waste, and we cut immediately through the arduous journey back to the other island, to the ceremony that's happening, and Sam gives a reception speech through song. What's the name of this song? I actually didn't write this one down. God.
Me neither. I just wrote Pierce.
Yeah, it's another bad Pierce Brosnan singing song. It is an ABBA song, I think, but yeah, it's like, it feels very like closing time kind of energy. I don't know. We get the crash and On the Run sinking here with the poor singing, but not much else. The crashing and burning of Pierce Brosnan's vocal career. But yeah. And also the clock's not really aligning with much other than the crowd coming in and joining in the singing. Here we get another shoehorned song coming in as Bill talks about briefly being a loner and also being an author, which is the exact same character traits that Rosie has. And therefore they are a perfect match for each other because they have two things that are the same. And we get a sequence where Rosie is saying, take a chance on me, another ABBA song, and trying to convince Bill to give her a chance and give their relationship a chance, which he we know that he's into her, but is scared of that relationship. In spite of being a adventure-y boy, he's actually very terrified of intimacy, it would seem. And yeah, he like resists her throughout this song and gets like chased all over the island, which is very weird. And eventually, like cannot resist her, and they get together. Also, during this song, Harry has the realization that he's gay. So that sort of came out of nowhere. I don't know what that's about. We'd got a bit earlier about him saying like that he lives with only dogs, his dogs, and also like in the ceremony there's a bit about him not having like Donna being his last relationship, which was like 20 years ago. So
yeah, the first and last woman he loved.
Yeah, so maybe he's made that realization about himself, but like it sort of comes out of nowhere. That's sort of it for the precursor.
It's not like done as deeply as it should be, but still way more intently than every like Disney gay character we've had in the last few years. Like,
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least that he's like he is gay. He is out and proud in this moment.
Yeah.
So, power to him, but whatever.
Yeah. He doesn't just look at someone in the background of a shot.
Yeah.
And people are like, hey, there you go.
Yeah. He's not doing the sheepish thing, which would be his usual move. So good stuff.
Yeah, good on him.
Anyway, it's just sort of a non sequitur. I guess everyone has to get together with someone for the next sequence because everyone is dancing in the courtyard, and the ground cracks. The little mosaic of the dolphin cracks open, and the fountain of water erupts out of it. The Aphrodite blessed water. In fact, in very, very framey slow-mo, like post-production slow-mo, Donna says, "It's Aphrodite," and it's overdubbed over top of her footage, and it looks terrible. She's like, clearly the overdub isn't in slow-mo. It's just Meryl Streep speaking slowly and matching the meter. It's really weird. But yeah, it's fun. And then there's a bit of celebratory dancing in the geyser of water as we get a reprise.
Very intense stuff.
Yeah, a very, very. Everyone's stripping their clothes off.
Yeah,
like at a wedding. And we get a reprise of Mamma Mia. But we're hearing the time solo. We cut to the dark of night here again for like the intro again, the weird, overly fantastical blue series where Sophie is leaving on a boat with Sky to go and travel the world, presumably. It feels like Frodo leaving Middle-earth.
Yes, 112%.
Right? It feels like she's going into the afterlife right now.
Well, also bringing that home is Pink Floyd singing "One Day Closer to Death" as they leave.
See ya on their magical propelled boat. And we cut from that weird end to this movie to the final credits for just a couple of extra Abba performances by the cast. The Donna and the Dynamos performed Dancing Queen once more for us on like a disco kind of stage in Abba gear. And then we get Waterloo as well for the credits. And also all the boys come out in Abba gear as well, which is a lot of fun. They're clearly having a good time for this credit sequence, presumably the last thing that they filmed. But pretty great stuff. Pretty fun credit sequence for a musical, I think. Because
it's very much a jukebox Broadway musical. To, get you leaving with the big hits, no matter what they are, even if you've heard them before, even if they didn't fit the script.
Absolutely. It would be such a weird movie to end on "I Have a Dream" and this weird blue farewell Frodo leaving Middle-earth sequence and then cut to black and credits. Like, that's a very strange end to the movie Mamma Mia. So I'm glad that they do this. For us, we get Great Gig playing us out. Basically, We get a little bit, I think, of us and them. No, not us and them. Money, and then that's it. We get over the credits. Yeah, I stopped paying attention after the characters left the screen. I'll be honest with you.
I mean, if you can still think about anything after seeing Pierce, Stalin, and Colin in those like amazing 70s outfits, if there's a single thought that remains in your head, you're a stronger person than I.
Yeah, it would be a thing that would be playing out in the cinema, and I'm desperately looking into my empty popcorn box for more popcorn, but I've already eaten it all, and I'm like, I need to leave. I need to leave now, but I cannot because people are still on the screen. I'm not allowed, That's the feeling.
Yeah, they can still see you.
If I could get through those like final 3 minutes by just scoffing my face full of popcorn, I would be totally okay, but it would be an impossible situation.
Yeah, you would have needed a backup popcorn just for this.
Just for this final little bit, a tiny little mini popcorn. All right, what did you think? How did it sink, Gareth? Let me know.
Look, the year is 2006, and a bold journalist asks Roger Waters if he has ever heard ABBA's album The Visitors. This, I could not find this actual interview, but this is quoted in Alexis Peders's Guardian review of the Scissor Sisters' second album.
Okay.
Anyway, Waters had no time for this question.
Right.
He cut the journalist short, and his entire opinion on ABBA he wanted to give, this being Roger Waters from Pink Floyd.
Yes.
He said, "From the first bar I ever heard by ABBA, I was an ex-listener."
Whoa. Rude.
Right?
So rude.
The one man who does not like ABBA happens to be in the band that we covered.
Damn. Who knew? That's wild. Yeah. Apparently the Scissor Sisters.
Yeah, again, weird thing to include in your Scissor Sisters review.
Absolutely. Anyway. So that's definitely got a factor into our rating here.
Yeah. Ugh. Did he then go out of his way to write an album that he knew would make ABBA's jukebox musical movie extra scary? Was that maybe Pink Floyd's intention?
That is, there's potentiality in that. I can see that happening. Yeah. I don't know.
But again, I can't abide something that doesn't sync two songs called Money. So.
Yeah, that's a crushing indictment there. No good.
Those are my loose thoughts at the bottom of the popcorn bowl.
Yeah,
James.
There's a bit swirling around with the uncooked kernels. Yeah. I'm feeling similar. It's always tough rating these fully musical movies. It's because again we have the two competing battle of the bands sort of situation happening, so it makes it tough on the boys. But I'm feeling better about this one than I am some of the other ones. I feel like it's not terrible, but it's not high. I think we could go like 3.5, maybe. That's where I'm kind of at.
Yeah. Okay. No, I like 3.5. Yeah.
Cool.
I was thinking, like, what's scarier, 3.5 or 4? But definitely 3.5.
Yeah.
The scariest number.
Canonically, the most scary number.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh. Yeah, sounds good. 3.5.
Plotted.
Put it on the graph.
It's on the graph.
And tremble.
Oh, tremble, Gareth.
What are we doing next? I'm trembling.
Oh, you're trembling with anticipation because, Gareth, we're doing another musical in a row. I'm running it back. We're going to a musical that came out 2 years after our fabled album that we listen to every week, and it has. It's also going to lean much more into the horror vibe. It's a horror musical. It's Rocky Horror Picture Show. Gareth.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I was listening to the soundtrack earlier this week.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Gonna be
brilliant.
a good time.
Oh, man. Well, let's plan it, Janet, to record it in the near future, that is.
Yeah. Oh, I
my
can't wait.
gosh.
Cool.
You've been listening to Pink Floyd FM from Abba to ZZ Top.
Yeah.
Check us out on namemygranny.live as well as twitter.com/syncfloydpod, letterbox.com/syncfloyd, Facebook, syncfloyd, Gmail, syncfloydpod@gmail.com. And I've been Gareth Blacklow.
I've been James Barron.
And until next time, I'm that little basket fish. Little does he know, Meryl Streep is upside down. Get that meat out of the heat, Carlo.
Yes, I've been broken hearted, blue since the day we parted. Why did I ever let you go? That's got to be better than Pierce, right?